Hold on, did we just witness the most jaw-dropping moment in love and hip-hop Atlanta history? I mean, we're talking about an explosive situation so insane, it could make even the most seasoned reality TV viewers go wait when the drama we've been waiting for finally hit the fan. And it wasn't pretty. Rasheeda and Yandy, best friends, partners in crime, practically sisters in the limelight, are now at war. Yep, you heard that right, the same duo who grace every red carpet like royalty showing off their BFF goals for the world to see have completely flipped the script. And let me tell you, when they went head to head during that dinner, all hell broke loose. So what went down? Was it a simple misunderstanding, or was this betrayal years in the making? We got a tale of backstabbing secrets and a shocking confrontation that left everyone wondering, how did these two queens end up ready to throw hands? And the craziest part, we've got inside sources who claim there was more than just a heated argument at play, leaked footage, secret texts. Yeah, we're diving deep into the mess that could have ruined everything for them. The question is, will this fight be the final nail in the coffin for their friendship, or is there still hope for a reunion? Spoiler alert, I'm betting you won't see this plot twist coming. Stay tuned, because this scandal is far from over. Before we dive into the real drama, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Because trust me, the history between Rasheeda and Yandy plays a massive role in the shocking events that unfolded. These two were practically inseparable, like peanut butter and jelly. If I'm being honest, the world watched as they slaved red carpets together, posted endless pictures of their glamorous lives, and gave us all major friendship goals. They were the ultimate dynamic duo on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, cementing themselves as the undisputed queens of the show. But like all fairy tales, this one was bound to have a dark twist. It all started when the two seemingly perfect best friends began to show cracks in their carefully crafted image. Now, don't get me wrong, we all saw the small hints, the subtle tension behind the smiles, the unspoken words exchanged in interviews, but nobody, and I mean nobody, expected what happened next. It was as if the universe had decided, okay, let's throw in some real life betrayal, spikes things up a bit. So, how did things go from best friends forever to a messy showdown that had everyone talking? Well, it all came down to power, jealousy, and an undeniable thirst for attention. And let's not forget, reality TV thrives on drama. The bigger the spectacle, the better the ratings. But this wasn't your typical stage TV drama. Oh no, this was personal. Rasheeda and Yandy had been through so much together, battles in their careers, public feuds with other stars, and a whole lot of ups and downs. But somewhere along the way, one of them decided that playing by the rules was so. Last season, who started the tension first? Was it Rasheeda, who felt overshadowed by Yandy's rising star? Or was it Yandy, who was tired of constantly being the second fiddle to Rashida's more established career? Let's be real, we've all seen that one person who feels like they deserve more, they get frustrated, they start plotting behind the scenes, and next thing you know, bam, you've got the makings of an all-out betrayal. The whispers started getting louder. Yandy was allegedly seen with people that didn't quite mesh well with Rashida's circle, and Rashida's stance started to notice some odd shifts in her behavior. Something was off. And let's not forget the business side of things. In the world of entertainment, alliances are constantly shifting, and when big money is on the table, friendships sometimes take a backseat. Could it be that Yandy's ambitions were outgrowing her friendship with Rasheeda? Could it be that Rasheeda, having built her empire, wasn't willing to share the spotlight anymore? And then we get to the pivotal moment that changed everything, the secret plot. Yes, you read that right. According to a few unnamed sources close to the situation, Yandy was allegedly involved in a scheme that Rasheeda never saw coming. Now, we can't say for sure if Yandy was out there doing the most, or if this was just a classic case of miscommunication. But one thing's for certain, Rasheeda was not having it. Rumor has it that Yandy made moves behind the scenes that affected Rasheeda's career. And if we know anything about Rasheeda, it's that she's not the one to let that slide. If you mess with her hustle, you're messing with her legacy. And that's exactly what it felt like. Yandy did. Lead reports suggested that Yandy was allegedly seen talking to people who were bad-mouthing Rasheeda's business ventures. Now, we can't verify these reports, but the speculation alone was enough to turn heads. But you want to know what really added fuel to the fire? The fans. You see, when there's no direct proof of betrayal, people love to speculate, and boy did they speculate. Fans started drawing connections, putting two and together, and suddenly the internet was on fire. Was Yandy trying to sabotage Rasheeda? Was she plotting a takeover of her friend's career? Or was it just a case of misinterpreted intentions? Either way, the seeds of distrust were planted. The relationship would never be the same, and if you think that was the worst of it, hold your horses, because things were about to get so much worse. Now, let's fast forward to the moment that we all knew was coming, the showdown, the moment that would forever be etched in reality TV history. The real drama started at a cast dinner, and no, this wasn't just a casual dinner where everyone was exchanging pleasantries. Oh no, this was Rasheeda, because Yandy, and the tension was palpable. As they sat there surrounded by the rest of the cast, the conversation quickly turned from civil to explosive. Rasheeda, clearly fed up with the ongoing drama, finally confronted Yandy face to face. How long have you been plotting behind my back? She allegedly said the air was thick with rage. And let's be clear, when Rasheeda gets mad, she doesn't hold back. You could see the anger in her eyes as she slammed her drink down on the table, demanding answers. The entire room fell silent as everyone waited to see how Yandy would react. Yandy, ever the queen of keeping her cool, wasn't about to let Rasheeda get the best of her. In typical Yandy fashion, she fired back. You're not as innocent as you think. You've got your own skeletons in the closet. And just like that, boom, the gloves were off. The situation went from tense to next level. Chairs scraped against the floor, voices got louder, and just when you thought the drama was going to cool off, Rashida pushed Yandy. What followed next, you guessed it, an all-out brawl. I'm talking about punches thrown, wigs flying, and the entire dinner spiraling out of control. Security had to rush in to break things up. But by then it was too late. The damage had already been done. Yandy's wig was half tilted. Rashida's mic was flying across the room, and the whole world was watching. Doyle say that this was the most dramatic moment in love and hip-hop Atlanta history would be an understatement. It was insane, the kind of moment that made you want to scream at your screen. This is real reality TV now. The drama didn't end there. You think the fight was shocking? That was just the beginning of the fallout. The fans, of course, had opinions, and when I say opinions, I mean they went wild on social media. Twitter blew up with hashtags like hashtag Team Rashed and hashtag Tammy Andy, with people picking sides. Some fans were heartbroken that their favorite dynamic duo had crumbled, while others were here for the chaos. The scandal was everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and of course the paparazzi couldn't get enough of it. The media had a field day. Two headlines screamed Rasheeda and Yandy's friendship destroyed in shocking brawl. And who's really to blame for the love and hip hop feud? The drama was bigger than anything the show had ever seen, and you can bet that the producers of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta were sitting back with a big grin on their faces. This wasn't just another storyline. This was the kind of reality TV gold, and everyone was tuning in for it. The real question was, what now? Could these two ever repair their fractured friendship? Or was it beyond repair? All right, if you thought the drama stopped with the shocking dinner brawl. Oh, honey, you're in for a wild ride. The aftermath of that intense fight wasn't just confined to the dinner table. It spiraled into a full-blown media frenzy, and trust me, this is where things get even crazier. The aftermath of Rasheeda and Yandy's explosive fight had fans and celebrities alike buzzing with opinions, theories, and predictions for the future of their careers. But if you thought the world would simply move on, think again. The fallout was just beginning, and it was ugly. So what happened after that infamous night when Rasheeda slammed her drink on the table and Yandy got that wig knocked out of place? Well, the reactions were swift, and let's just say no one could stop talking about it. The next few days saw the tabloids explode with every kind of speculation, from supposed hidden messages in Rashida's and Yandy's social media posts to wild assumptions about what really went down in those crucial moments before the fight. Everyone from fans to industry insiders had their say on the situation. But first, let's talk about the public reactions, because believe me, they were priceless. Fans were absolutely divided. Some were heartbroken, and they couldn't believe that two strong women who had been through so much together could let it all fall apart over something so petty. We can't believe Rashida would do this. She was always the one holding it down, being the mature. And if you think the fans were just talking about this on Twitter, you couldn't be more wrong. Even other celebrities started chiming in with some taking sides, and when celebrities get involved, things only get messier. You've had people like K. Michelle, who's no stranger to drama, tweeting out cryptic messages about loyalty and betrayal. Meanwhile, Tamar Braxton, always the one to speak her mind, sent out a tweet that many believed was aimed at the drama. Sometimes you have to cut TIs with people who don't have your best interests at heart. Was that about Rashida and Yandy? Who knows, what the timing was too perfect to ignore. Now let's talk about what everyone was really wondering. How was this going to impact their careers after all? The fight was more than just a public spectacle. It was a career-defining moment for both women. In the world of reality TV, moments like these can make or break a star. It was unclear how the fallout would affect either of them. For Rashida, things were tricky. Sure, she was always the fan favorite, the business mogul, the established queen. But the fight had left a bitter taste in the mouths of some of her fans. Was she acting out of anger and frustration, or had she been harboring resentment for far too long? If she lost the support of her fan base, it could have serious implications for her businesses. You see, Rashida doesn't just make money from her love and hip hop appearances. She has her own boutique, multiple businesses, and a whole line of cosmetics. So the last thing she needed was negative press. And even though she had every right to stand up for herself, the optics weren't great. Was she too quick to react in anger? Would this be the beginning of the end? For her, on the other hand, Yandy's career could take a huge hit as well. Despite being one of the main faces of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, her image took a serious blow after the fight. Fans of the show were quick to call her out for being disloyal and shady. And in the world of reality TV, that's a big deal. Could she recover? Absolutely. But it would require some serious damage control, maybe an apology to Rashida, maybe a public statement about how it was all blown out of proportion. But here's the kicker: would people believe her? The skepticism surrounding her intentions was palpable, and if she didn't address the rumors head on, she could very well be written off as the villain in the saga. After all, in the world of reality TV, If you don't play the game right, the fans will turn on you in an instant. And what about the future of their friendship? Well, at this point, it seemed unlikely that things would be patched up anytime soon. You can't just go back to being best friends after that kind of public humiliation. And even though there were murmurs of potential reconciliation, no one was holding their breath. The trust had been broken, the betrayal had been made clear, and with both women's egos at stake, a real conversation seemed near impossible. Now the dust has barely settled from that chaotic dinner brawl between Rasheeda and Yandy, but make no mistake, the long term fallout is just starting to unfold, and it's going to be much worse than anyone anticipated. When a public fight like this happens, there are always those who say, oh, they'll blow over. But let's face it, this isn't one of those situations. This is one of those times where a single public altercation can have massive repercussions that echo through both women's careers, relationships, and future prospects. So, what happens next? Let's dive into the stormy waters of their careers and the explosive consequences that could come from this now infamous brawl. First off, the reputation of both Rashida and Yandy has been tarnished beyond repair. For many fans and industry insiders, the hashtag loyalty it is everything hashtag was trending for weeks, but it wasn't just about loyalty to each other. It was about loyalty to their fans. In the show, Rashida, the once unstoppable business mogul and fan favorite, now faces the ugly side of fame, the criticism of her actions. Sure, fans were quick to defend her at first, saying she was only standing up for herself. But that initial wave of support began to wane as the details of her relationship with Yandy came to light. Was she too quick to lash out? Could she have handled the situation more maturely? These are questions that are now being asked at every turn, and unfortunately, no amount of damage control will take back that initial fight. Rashida's reputation was built on her role as the mature, level headed star who juggled family, business, and fame. But this new side of her isn't as pretty, and let's talk about Yandy's image, shall we? Oh, Yandy. She went from being the golden girl of love and hip hop Atlanta to the villain in this drama in the blink of an eye. After the fight, many fans turned on Yandy like a pack of wolves. People were saying things like, I never trusted her. And now I see why the whispers of her being shady were no longer just rumors, they were now fact in the eyes of many fans. But here's the thing, Yandy's been through this before. She's no stranger to public controversy, and she's managed to come out the other side stronger each time. So could this be another setback that she'll bounce back from? Absolutely, Yandy's no rookie when it comes to managing her image, but will she be able to convince her loyal fans that she's not the backstabber people are calling her? That's the million-dollar question. And right now, the jury's still out, so what are the consequences of this massive fallout? Well, it doesn't just stop at hurt feelings and public humiliation. There's a business side to all of this that is far more important. For Rashida, her business empire is at stake. Sure, she's got the boutique, her beauty products, and all her other ventures, but can she still sell to the same fan base after this debacle? Will they still buy her products? Did they feel like she can't be trusted? You know how it goes in the world of reality TV. If you lose the audience's trust, you lose the brand. Could this lead to a serious hit to her business? Absolutely. And don't forget, Rashida isn't just a reality star, she's a businesswoman with real stakes. This scandal could drive a wedge between her and potential partners, investors, and clients. As for Yandy, the damage to her brand might be even more drastic. While she doesn't have the same level of business empire that Rashida has, she's built a name for herself as a reality star, a manager, and even a philanthropist. But now that her image has taken a serious hit, it's going to be harder for her to book deals, endorse products, or even appear on other reality shows. Sure, she can still pull in a paycheck from appearances, but after a public fight with one of the show's most beloved stars, how long will that last? Will fans want to continue following her if they don't trust her? Is a huge question that's hanging over her head. Let's not forget the personal consequences here. Either both women have families and loved ones who will be affected by this. Rashida, especially, has always emphasized her role as a mother and wife, and now this public altercation may have put a strain on her relationship with her husband, Kirk Frost. Could this affect their family dynamic? How will their children be impacted by the scandal? These are real questions that Rashida now has to consider, and the pressure of balancing her personal life with this public drama is intense. As for Yandy, let's just say that relationships with the cast and crew of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta have been strained, to say the least. Friends and castmates who were once close to her are now walking on eggshells, unsure whether they should support her or distance themselves. It's a lonely place to be in, and you can bet that this fallout is taking a toll on her personal life too. Now, let's talk about the legal side of things. Yeah, you've heard that right. Legal consequences. Reality TV isn't all fun and games, and sometimes these situations get ugly. Could there be lawsuits on the horizon? Maybe after all, when you got people on a popular TV show, emotions run high and things can get physical. While we haven't seen any formal accusations, it's not out of the question that one or both of them could face legal ramifications from the brawl. Could Rashida sue for defamation or assault? Could Yandy go after Rashida for emotional distress or some other claim? We're not saying it's going to happen, but it wouldn't be shocking if this thing escalated in ways we haven't even imagined yet. As for the future of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, well, that's up in the air too. After this fight, it's clear that the show is about to take a sharp turn in the direction of even more drama, more betrayal, and more backstabbing. Will fans continue watching? Of course, they live for this kind of spectacle, but will the dynamic of the show change without Rasheeda and Yandy's friendship? Absolutely. The fans love their chemistry, their loyalty to each other, and their ability to keep it real. Now that that's gone, will the show be able to replace that energy? Who knows? But what's certain is that the fallout from this scandal will be felt across every corner of the Love and Hip Hop franchise. The show's producers will be scrambling to figure out how to move forward with this scandalous mess. And let's not forget that the public is not done with this drama, just that social media is still buzzing with memes, reactions, and endless commentary on the situation. Fans are obsessed with every new detail that drops, and they're waiting for the next bit reveal. It's like watching a car crash, you can't look away. Will there be more secrets exposed? Will Rasheeda and Yandy eventually make up? Will someone else from the cast spill even more tea? At this point, anything could happen. So what do you think? Will Rasheeda and Yandy ever reconcile, or has their friendship been shattered for good? Do you believe this is just another love and hip hop spectacle? Or is the fallout really as serious as it looks? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we need to hear what you think about this wild situation. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're covering the latest drama, gossip, and scandals as they happen, and trust me, you won't want to miss any of it. Turn on your notifications so you're the first to know when we drop the next jaw-dropping story. Don't forget to like this video if you're loving the drama, and share it with your friends who need to know what's really going on with Rasheeda and Yandy. After all, we're here to bring you the truth, no matter how messy it gets. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll break down even more shocking news you don't want to miss. It music. Hey, hey, hey.